collector, I don't mean a tax collector or a collector of these, or for that matter of them. Or those. No, I mean an honest-to-goodness collector of stamps, cigarette cards, engines, cars, planes or ships. And there are other collections. Listen.
Good evening. Once again, it is my privilege as the Pathe tame reporter to bring to your notice another of the many museum collections that it has been my pleasure to investigate on behalf of this company. Thank you. Ha, wrong way.
Just shows where their minds are, doesn't it? That's better. At the British Museum, the first collection we notice is pipes. The old pipe of peace actually showed the slaying of a white man. This is the bowl, and here's the mouthpiece. The famous red Indian buffalo pipe was ideal for a long smoke. Other lovers of the wheel preferred a carved pipe to a curved. Some pipes are box-shaped and made of teak with brass knobs on. The pipes of South African colored gentlemen were graced by South African colored ladies. In East Africa, pipes were good, studded with brass nails, and some were as large as marrows. Pipes from the Cameroons, a saxophone model, a canoe pipe, and one complete with eyebrows, the hookah, and an opium pipe with a brass waist. And so to masterpieces of meerschaum. And one of the famous collection of clocks. These are continental standing timepieces of about 1600. A milkmaid flat top and a griffin with a costly inlaid dial and wings that flap while he chimes. A chiming clock watch of the 16th century, a fine example of the clockmaker's art. An ancient alarm clock, complete with candle. Delightful dials, 300 years old. A nigger timepiece with a revolving dial and works in the base. The famous ship clock with a dial just below the bridge. And lastly, the great Hellis collection of firearms. The barreled weapons of the early 18th century had to be rotated by hand. Each barrel was fired as it came to the top. 60 years later, the barrels worked automatically as the trigger was pulled. Cameramen had to take the tin titvers. From Ireland came the 2-in-1 gat. It could be taken apart and used double-handed in case of a roughhouse. About this time, pistols were becoming very ornamental. A blunderbuss with a dagger that springs out when the trigger's pressed. A hunting sword for wild boar. What made the boar wilder was the pistol in the hilt. When you think of guns, you think of batteries. What a collection that was. Let's finish on